Occupational Therapy Program, featuring Terry Rosansky.
The Occupational Therapy Program at Disability Advocates of Kent County provides in-home assessments for persons with disabilities to make sure they maintain their independence in their home and remove those barriers that exist for people who are just having a difficult time.
My life was unmanageable because I had to crawl up and down the stairs to get into my house. And in the wintertime, it was terrible. I contacted quite a few places that couldn't help me, and I was referred to disability advocates. They referred me to home repair services. Within 2 weeks of the application, they were building my ramp.
Through the occupational therapy assessment, obviously we're making sure that people have access to all areas of their home. Sometimes it's widening a doorway. A lot of times it's being able to take a bath. In this case, like Terry's, once he has a ramp, he's able to get out into the community, which increases community access.
When I saw the ramp, I was really happy because I could come and go as I please anytime I want, day or night, without calling anybody. I feel more independent. I can do things myself. I have my power chair, which I can take down the ramp and I can go to the store or wherever. When you call disability advocates, they'll break their neck trying to get you what they can get you. If they can get it for you, they will. Just little things, too, that make a big difference. Just a shower chair, the foam inserts that go on your silverware, and just little things like that that make my life a lot easier. And they call and check on me every couple months, ask me if I need anything or how I'm doing.
We do a real extensive follow-up with each consumer and making sure that the equipment we ordered works for them, fits them. Sometimes we end up changing it back out after something doesn't work, so we're following up to make sure the consumer is living as independently as possible. All of us just really enjoy what we do and the fact that we can make a difference for someone when we do a home assessment like this and we see someone really struggling with a problem that we know can be solved. And thank goodness we have the community partners that make those changes and allow people to live more independently.
It's the difference of night and day. I can do anything now that I want to do. Sit and drink coffee Sunday morning on my ramp. That's what I do a lot in the morning. In the summer, I just sit out there and relax. To somebody, that's no big deal. But to me, it's a really big deal.
When you support Disability Advocates of Kent County, you're supporting programs like ours, the Occupational Therapy Department, that provide home accessibility equipment for folks who can live independently, as well as promoting and supporting the rest of our programs that provide community access.
Without disability advocates and a couple other organizations, I wouldn't be here. I'd be in a home. And I didn't sign up for that.
You're watching NPO Showcase on GRTV. My next guest is Sarah Harris, an occupational therapist working with Disability Advocates of Kent County. Thanks so much for joining me today, Sarah.
Thanks for having me.
I know Disability Advocates of Kent County covers a lot of different programs and services throughout West Michigan. We're going to talk a little bit about some of the occupational therapy services you provide. First, let's tell our audience a little bit about what occupational therapy means in regard to people with disabilities and what Disability Advocates of Kent County, how they use occupational therapy to help their clients and patients.
So at Disability Advocates, our occupational therapy program is called Adaptive Home Solutions, and our therapists go in to evaluate someone in their home to ensure that they're safe, that they're as independent as possible, and that they can remain in their homes for as long as they choose to.
So you're evaluating their home and making recommendations. Does this cover things like appliances and the way the house is built, and how do some of those changes take place after you, cite what you make recommendations to them?
So after intake, one of our occupational therapists will come out and do an assessment with someone in their home, and they'll look at everything that person needs to do in their home and the home environment. And so sometimes fixes are very simple. We can get adaptive equipment, maybe a shower seat or a reacher or a special type of can opener would make things much easier for that person. Other times we do need to look at how the home is designed and the home could require modifications. So maybe it needs a ramp if someone is using a wheelchair or walker. Maybe someone's bathroom needs to be remodeled so they're able to get into it, or they're able to use their shower versus stepping into a bathtub.
And how do people go about making these adjustments? Do you hook them up with resources? Is it more of a, we think you should do this, and then it's on their shoulders to go out and hire someone to do that work?
No, we follow through with them throughout the plan. So we have 5 therapists and an occupational therapy assistant. We follow up with them. We get them the equipment that they need. We make recommendations for modifications. We can work with them with builders and local resources, and so we can follow through with them until the home is modified however they need it to be.
I know depending on the disability, there's a variety of adaptive technology and equipment that could be used. Tell me a little bit about some of that equipment that you provide or have available for some of your patients.
So for our consumers, we have a pretty extensive equipment loan closet, and we have things available like walkers, wheelchairs, canes, reachers. We have more specialized equipment like adaptive eating utensils, plates, things to help in the kitchen, jar openers, can openers. We have items for people with low vision or with hearing loss, such as flashing doorbells or amplified telephones. Basically, if we don't have it in our loan closet, we typically can find and procure quite a few things that can help with someone who has a disability or is having an issue.
It's a really great resource. You also provide some, caregiver options as well for people that might need other assistance?
We do. So our Caregiver Solutions program is aimed at people who are age 60 or over who are caregivers, or people of any age who are caregiving for someone 60 or over. So this could be someone over 60 who's taking care of an adult, child or relative, or it could be someone my age or your age taking care of an older parent. And we go in, we assess the home, we assess the caregiver and the person receiving the care, and we make recommendations for equipment, for home modifications, and for adaptive techniques to make caregiving easier, less stressful, and safer for everybody.
That's great. So you're providing the resources directly to independent caregivers and allowing them to do their job more effectively.
Correct.
And then I know you have some other services such as the zero-step program that works with home building and local contractors and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
So the zero-step program was kind of conceived in 2005, and that came about because people were inquiring about how to build homes or buildings, but mostly homes, that were accessible and safe and would last for a lifetime. So a home that you could live in regardless of what changes might happen in your family. And in 2008, there were official guidelines developed for Zero Step as a reference for builders, designers, contractors, anyone building a home. They could look at this plan and say, I know that this home is going to work and be comfortable for someone, whether it's a small child or an older adult or someone with mobility issues.
Interesting. Well, that's a lot of things happening, to make sure people are living in a comfortable and safe environment. What kind of ways do you have community members that want to get involved and help, or would you recommend, do you have information for builders that want to be a little bit more aware of some of these practices? What's the best step for these people that want to know more?
Oh, absolutely. So anyone, builders, or if you're thinking of having a home built or remodeling, you can always call our occupational therapy department at 616-949-1100, and we can go over that process with you and make recommendations. We can certify your home building plans as Zero Step as well. So
I'm excited to learn a little bit more about this, and I thank you so much for coming in and telling us about some of these really interesting things. I don't really think about, some of these approaches to help our disabled community so much. So thank you for providing them to the community.
Thank you.
Sarah Harris, the occupational therapist with Disability Advocates of Kent County, was my guest today, and you're watching NPO Showcase.
Paraquad works with the disabled to provide the core services of independent living. And here today is the president and CEO of Paraquad, Amy Waymeyer. Welcome, Amy.
Hi, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me be here.
Yeah, so glad you're here. So Paraquad, literally across the street from STL TV.
Yes.
So you didn't have to come far.
Nope, we're neighbors.
We are neighbors. So you've been there for about 4 years.
Yes,
as
I
president.
joined 4 years ago. I came from Columbia, Missouri. I'm originally from St. Charles, so wasn't too far of a trek back, and here I am.
Came home back to back
exactly.
to the big city. So okay, so let's talk about Paraquad. Paraquad's been around for a long time.
Yes, we've been around for 46 years, and our mission is to empower people with disabilities to increase their independence through choice and opportunity.
Okay, and so what does that mean? Is that enabling the disabled to live independently, to help them, to learn how to do that, or what are all the ways that you do that?
Sure, so it's really about self-direction, and so for me personally, so I've had a disability my whole life, so really the mission of Paraquad is the story of my life. Left home when I was 18 years old to go to college, and I've lived independently ever since. And so really what Paraquad does is offer programs and services in support to people in the community who have independent living goals. And really, we don't do things for people. We help people do whatever their goal may be to live more independently.
So you, born with a disability, and obviously your family encouraged that independence.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay.
Mike and Rory's, my mom said, you better get a good job because you'll never wait tables. And so that is the truth.
Hey, that was a good thing.
Yes,
You
yes.
didn't miss out on anything.
Right.
So, so you were encouraged, but are there people in our community who are not encouraged in the way that you were by your family, would you say?
Well, I mean, I think people are people, and so I think people come to Paraquad, in a whole, spectrum of places and independence. Some people are quite independent and may have, a specific goal that they're working on, whether that be employment or whether that be physical fitness, or some people may be just starting out. We may be working with someone who is currently living in a nursing home and wants to live back in the community. And for that person, there's many steps that they have to take to become more independent.
So what are your clients, would you call them clients, people who come in?
We call them participants, so
Okay.
we're really focused on, the person. So everything is very person-centered, person-driven. So, yeah, we call them participants, people who choose to be a part of our program.
Yeah, so do they come to you as all ages, starting with children, up through adult senior citizens?
Yeah, so that's the best part of working at Paraquad. It's for all people with all disabilities of all ages. So we have youth programs, we have programs for adults, and certainly seniors are part of our services as well.
Okay, so anybody, and how are they coming to you? Are they referred to? Do they?
Yeah, so lots of ways. So, referrals, word of mouth. Paraquad's been around a long time. So a lot of people know who we are. And so I think a lot of that is just, learning from other people, learning from rehab facilities, hospitals, friends. Our new big thing is fitness. Where do people go to work out? So we're not just a place, for people with very specific things. We have a broad range of programs and services.
Okay, but speaking of working out,
Yes.
you have a new wellness center.
We do have a new wellness center. We're pretty proud. We just had our grand opening in January, so we have a 22,000 square foot facility with over 40 pieces of equipment that are really designed with people with disabilities in mind.
Okay, so like for example?
So, for example, we have occupational therapists and physical therapists who work individually with individuals, and we have, all kinds of equipment. So, if in my wheelchair, I could pull up and use a weight machine. There's arm machines. Everything is designed and accessible for people with disabilities. We have standing machines. So there's just lots of different equipment that can be used.
Yeah, that sounds great. So
Yeah.
there's no excuses for not working out,
Yeah,
Amy.
that's right.
All right, we're going
That's
we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk more about the services of Paraquad. So stay with us at STL Live. We'll have much more with Amy after this break.
Hi, I'm Christina Chambers, and this is the 360 Rundown. I'm in Portland, Oregon right now on an epic road trip, so I'm going to send it over to Tony, and he'll let you know what's happening at Ability 360 this week.
Hi, I'm Tony Jackson, and we've got lots for you here at the Sports and Fitness Center. This is the last call to sign your kids up for summer camp. Sign them up today for this Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. for sports, games, rock climbing, swim, and lunch. Attention teens. Every Tuesday from 4:30 to 5:30, you can have fun and learn water sports in our pools with our Healthy Teens program. If the summer heat is too much, you can cool down on the ice at the Coyotes Curling Club Wheelchair Clinic every Wednesday from 5 to 6:30 p.m. Friends and family are all welcome to join. Contact Tim Surrey by email at tims@ability360.org to sign up today. That's all we have for this week. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday for the 360 Rundown.
We personally knew how expensive this equipment was, and we wanted to figure out a way to give back to these families and give these kids every advantage that they can have. It's so important to be involved in something, and to be involved in a sport really gives kids so many opportunities. It builds their confidence, make them feel like they have the same thing that their peers have. They can go and say, I do play basketball, and I have something that will make them proud.
It was great because they have chairs here that he can use, but this one's fit for him and he can really be competitive with it. For sure, what will really help him is that this chair is customized for him. So he will be able to control it better than the adult chairs. He won't be sliding around. It'll just take his game to the next level.
So Gabriel has been playing basketball since he was 6 years old, and this is the first custom chair that he's ever had. And within a minute, you could see a huge difference. His feet actually are secure for the first time, and I'm excited to see him in a chair that fits him so well. I think anytime a kid can get into a piece of gear that's custom for them, and it's the colors they choose, and it's this piece of equipment that they get to take home and it's theirs, there's really nothing like that feeling, just like I think any other kid out there. When it's yours, I think you take more pride and you kind of get a little more excited for the game.
Having your own equipment is really important. You get an opportunity to understand it, you grow with it. These are all personalized wheelchairs just for these individuals, so they'll grow into them, learn how it fits their body just right. I just want to thank the JAM Foundation for providing these chairs to our athletes. It's really essential for them to grow in the sport. It's allowing our program to grow as well, and want to thank PerformX too for making some great sport chairs.
Do you have any idea what you're looking at, what this place is? Do you have any idea where it is? Well, it's in Phoenix, Arizona. And you know what? I'm just discovering this too. Ability 360, and it's the concept, the original idea of Phil Pangrazio. Talk about the beginning. your original idea for Ability 360.
Well, this is the best kept secret in town. That's why we asked you to come here and help us make it so it's not a secret anymore to anybody. But why this got started, how we got it started?
Yes.
Well, I've been with Ability 360 for 19 years as the CEO, but this kind of got started, I started playing wheelchair rugby back when I was 30 years old. So I was always involved in sports.
You obviously wanted a whole lot of other people to get involved in activities. And activities like what? What is it that you offer here at Ability 360?
We have so much here at the Sports and Fitness Center. Wheelchair basketball, stand-up amputee basketball, power soccer, wheelchair rugby, of course, aquatics programs in our pools. We have a fabulous fitness center upstairs. It's probably 7,500 square feet of universally accessible fitness equipment. There's a group fitness room. We have spin classes. We have and all of the equipment is accessible for people with disabilities. So,
but what do you mean by people with disabilities? Who's eligible to come here and use all of this marvelous equipment and these facilities?
Well, anybody can come here and be a member, whether you have a disability or you don't have a disability. But we focus all our programs on people with disabilities, so it doesn't matter what kind of disability you have. It can be a physical disability, it can be a sensory disability, someone who's deaf, hard of hearing, that's blind.
What about ages?
Of all ages. We have a Silver Sneakers program here for seniors. So they can come here and dance and do tango and just work out on the fitness equipment.
And one special group that I know you really cater to are the veterans of our community.
Absolutely. We have over 600 either active or former military veterans that are members here, and we don't, it's almost free for them to come here and be a member.
It's interesting that we're talking about people that Phil himself says are people with disabilities. You really don't think about people with disabilities climbing a very, very demanding climbing wall, but they have one of those here.
We have a rock climbing wall. Absolutely. It's one of the most popular things that we have here. People just love to do the rock climbing wall. We have a runner's track that's right above us, is a 1/10 of a mile runner's track.
Ability 360, it's been here for 7 years. Now, just one moment while everybody stops and says, what? Why didn't I know about this? Well, you know about it now. Ability 360 is located where?
At 50th Street in Washington, 5025, and this building is 5031. East Washington, just on the Phoenix-Tempe border.
Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. How about if the camera moves off of me and you look right at the camera and invite everybody, disabled or not, to come visit?
Hey, everybody in Phoenix, come down here at Ability 360, our Ability 360 Center. There's a lot for everybody here, something of all ages, and I guarantee you, when you come down here, you will be wowed.
That's exactly what I said when I walked into the front door of Ability 360. Wow! This is Arizona Daily News.
Welcome to Ability 360. I'm Phil Pangrazio, President and CEO. Recently, we announced our new name, Ability 360, and everyone is asking, why the new name? The new name helps clear up confusion about who we are and what we do. Ability 360 places the focus on ability versus disability. The all-encompassing 360 concept demonstrates inclusiveness of all people with all types of disabilities and the full range of programs and services we provide. Along with the new name Ability 360, we have a new logo. The new logo with the circular and upward pointing arrow is more modern and promotes positive and forward-moving energy. The Disability Empowerment Center became the Ability 360 Center, which is owned and operated by Ability 360. The center's new name reflects the many different yet related organizations that exist together in one location, all working to improve the lives of people with all types of disabilities. Our adaptive gym, now called the Ability 360 Sports and Fitness Center, continues to grow and provides the opportunity for people of all abilities to enjoy sports, fitness, and recreation. We are thrilled to be moving forward with our new name, Ability 360, and I want to thank everybody that participated in the rebranding process, from our employees to our consumers to our community partners. We could not have done it without you. Stay tuned to our social media and please subscribe to our new quarterly magazine, Livability. And come check us out at ability360.org.
Según un estudio del Instituto Vera en 2017, las personas con discapacidad tienen al menos 3 veces más probabilidades de ser agredidas sexualmente que las personas sin discapacidad. Con el fin de abordar la necesidad de recursos de violencia sexual y doméstica dentro de la comunidad de discapacitados, Ability 360 y la Coalición de Arizona para poner fin a la violencia sexual y doméstica se han asociado para proporcionar horas semanales para que cualquier persona pueda contactarse libremente con un especialista de servicios de víctimas de la línea de ayuda. Los horarios son todos los jueves de 3 de la tarde a 7 de la tarde en el campus principal de Ability 360. Se aceptan visitas sin cita. Si desea, puede programar una cita en helpline@acesdb.org.
In 2011, I had a stroke and just went to the hospital.
2 years after the stroke, he started with seizures, which have also led to him being a little more disabled, and that kind of kicked him back a lot.
Life changed a lot. Couldn't turn to work and couldn't drive. Couldn't use the right arm. Everything changed.
The first year he actually was doing pretty good. He got lots of therapy. He did inpatient for probably 6 weeks, and then he did day rehab for maybe 3 months. I worked in healthcare, so I was aware of Paraquad. And when we got to a point where he really needed to be doing something more, I convinced him this was the place to come. He started out in the 12-week program to where they basically are working with him one-on-one and they're testing his strength. Was your goal to get strength in this arm?
Yeah.
And what do you want to be able to hold?
Baby.
Yeah. In order to convince him to get stronger, the baby, our grandbaby that was going to be born in January, became his motivating factor. He wanted to be able to hold her and feed her, play with her like he did with the other grandkids.
Well, we're getting there. We're getting a little better.
We are extremely happy that he started here at the Health and Wellness Center. His strength has just increased so much. Even the amount of weights that he's using on the machines has really increased. Being affiliated with Logan Chiropractic Clinic is another excellent benefit. They work more with somebody like him with getting the muscle, with the strength coming back and the affected side. And the staff that he works with is just amazing. They take special time with all of the people that come here, give them the encouragement that they need. I just can't say enough about Paraquad. I tell everybody about it. His overall outlook is better, which is so important with anything.
I hope in the future to pick up the baby.
What about get on the floor and play?
Yeah.
Play games with all of the kids, grandkids?
All the kids, yeah. There's a bunch of them.
I had a brain tumor removed 11 years ago. everything was going smooth, and then I got an infection, gave me loss of vision, double vision, speech, talking, coordination, ataxia. I got connected to Paraquad through somebody I played wheelchair rugby with, so I went to Paraquad to work out in the gym. 11 years ago, I was in culinary school. I went to the hospital on my last semester, so I never graduated. I go to University of Missouri for a BSW. I was supposed to graduate in the summer of 2019. After I graduate with BSW, I'm going back to finish culinary school. The Bloom Cafe is perfect because Bloom Cafe offers opportunities for people with disability. The unemployment rate for people with disabilities is really high. Training programs like this are important because it allows people to build resume. My future, for 5 or 10 years, I see myself cooking again. I was born to cook. Now I have the opportunity to do that.